and today we have a really special guest that is making vanilla flavored vegan cookies. That means they're going to be no eggs and no sugar, and Kim will explain the rest. But I want you to say hello to Roxy, Ginger, and Andre. They're my friends, and they are part of the celebration. Okay, here we go. Come on in to the trailer. And Louie is helping me too. Okay, Louie, you can sit on the couch. All right? You sit on the couch, sit down. I'm gonna wash my hands afterwards, and then we'll get started. Ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to introduce Kim. She will tell you about these cookies, so come on in.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm Kim Hunter, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to my very simple cookie recipe. I think of them as healthy Nilla Wafers. They've got, in this case, they've got 5 ingredients. They're super easy. It's a wonderful basic recipe. It's vegan, so no animals involved in this. And it's also the sugar-free, although we use maple syrup as sweetener. But why don't we just dive in?
I'll wash my hands.
Okay, and while she's washing her hands, I'm going to show you what these are the ingredients. So we have 2 cups of almond flour. We have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup, and just because I like it, I'm going to put a dash of cinnamon in. And shall we begin?
Yeah.
Okay, so into our mixing bowl. I've got a total of 2 cups here. I thank my cousin and assistant Deborah for putting this all together. We've got our 2 cups of flour. We like to do the dry ingredients first. And I will get the teaspoon of baking powder.
Now, how does this cookie stay together without eggs, you know, and...
Good question. It's
Okay.
the maple syrup keeps it together. From what at least I hope it will. And I'm going to put a little dash of the cinnamon. Now, the original recipe doesn't actually call for a dash of cinnamon. Just a little pinch of cinnamon, because I just like it. And the beauty of this recipe is that this is sort of the base recipe for vanilla. Now, you could add some cocoa powder, you could add chocolate chips, you could add nuts, you could add raisins, you could add ginger powder and turn them into ginger snaps.
Oh.
You could do whatever you want. You just sort of play around with this recipe. But I suggest you start with this one and experiment and get it right, because honest to God, I've never made this at anyone's place other than mine, so you know you have to sort of experiment with the temperature and the time, but we'll see how it goes.
So it looks like, can you get the, she's breaking up the bigger clumps.
Yeah, I'm just sort of breaking it up, and I'm doing, you know, you just combine the dry ingredients first.
Okay.
Now I will attempt to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So we've got vanilla. Oh, this looks like it could be brand new almost.
Yeah, well, we just got to the desert.
Okay, do you have
Yeah,
nails?
do you want me to get it?
Please, because I don't have any nails. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Annie.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's get 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 and 2. Okay, and give you that. We have music accompanying this. Okay, put this over here. And this is our 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. And that goes in. See if I can get every little ounce of that in there. Okay. And then it's just stir it up. combine it. And this will turn into a nice dough. What I like about these cookies is that they aren't too sweet. Some people might call them biscuits because they're just not overly sweet. But you can see they're turning into a nice dough. And very soon I will be forming them into cookies. Now I suppose if you are a fancy chef, unlike me, you could probably roll these out on something and use cookie cutters and do something fancy. But I don't do fancy. I'm the lazy chef. So I do things really, really super simple. Okay, now that that is mostly combined, I recommend that you wet your hands. I've washed them, but now I'm going to wet my hands so that it doesn't stick.
Oh.
Okay, and I'm going to give
And that's because because they're gluten free. The almond flour does it. So you're going to form them into cookie.
Okay, so I'm just taking like a, I don't know, golf ball size.
Okay.
Okay, and give them a little. Right, and then I just give them a smush in my hand. Okay.
So you smush them.
Just smush them. There you
Okay.
go. There's your first cookie.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and on parchment paper, on a cookie sheet, there you go.
So we'll take a quick break while Kim is forming all the cookies, and then we'll come back when we throw them
Please
in the oven.
join us and see how these cookies turn out.
Don't
So
miss the
basically, they're going to go in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, right?
Correct.
So we'll be back, and we should have some cookies for you guys to enjoy.
Yay!
Okay, great.
Yay.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks, Annie.
Sure.
Hi, we're back now. Annie's cooking in the trailer park with her friend Kim, and we are now ready to put the cookies in to our oven.
So
It's-
please note that 2 cups of flour, it only made a dozen cookies. So what I suggest is that you try this recipe with 12, the small amount, because assuming they work out, you're going to love them, and then just double or triple the recipe. And are we ready to put
Okay,
them in the
so
oven?
I just
throw-
want to mention.
Just put them in the oven.
Okay, let's put them in the oven. As you can see, our little trailer oven.
I'm not sure where this
On
goes.
the
right
top
here.
rack.
You got it.
Okay.
Okay, now, Kim, would you share?
You said about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, so 10 minutes is right, but I always, again, I don't know your oven and so forth. You might want to check them at 9 minutes. So let's put the timer on for 10
Okay.
for now, and if it gives a warning, well, 10 minutes, that should, maybe 11 minutes, maybe 12.
So we'll be back in a minute. We'll see what
Well,
they look
wait a
like.
minute.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, we have to say that she said, Kim, when you were talking earlier, if you put them in too hot of an oven, they burn.
Right.
But if
Right.
you don't, if the oven isn't heated to 350, they don't brown.
Okay.
Right. They
We'll
won't go.
let's hope for the best.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna hope this oven works, and if it
So,
doesn't,
well,
you have to take my
yeah.
word for it.
We'll be
That's
back in a minute. I'm sure it'll be good. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Okay.
Ah! Okay, so we're taking the cookies out now. We could smell them. They're, oh my God, they smell
wonderful.
Smells
so
really good.
So
Okay,
Kim's
oh.
taking them out.
Well, she's going to attempt to take them out.
Do you want me to? Need any help?
Maybe. Yeah, I can't seem to grab this.
Okay, here.
I think I need another. Here you go.
Okay.
For a smaller thing. Oh, you got it.
Here we go.
Hey, they look pretty good. They're not quite as brown as I expect.
Oh,
but
They'll be brown on the bottom for sure.
Yeah.
They'll be super brown on the bottom. They look
Okay.
really nice.
there we go.
So let's put them on the
Let's put 'em on
Let's put them on the cooling rack. Actually, Annie,
What?
Kim's got the spatula,
Oh,
so she'll
oh, okay.
hold them up and Kim will put them on the rack.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Oops. I'm already breaking one. Ta-da.
So we're going to come back in just a minute when they cool down and sample
Okay.
them. We'll be right back. So Kim, Annie,
Hello.
Here we
hello,
are.
Welcome back.
how
Welcome back.
what do you think? They look
I
like
think they look pretty good. Now here's something I noticed is these are pretty fluffy, and so I added a teaspoon of baking powder. If you like them less fluffy, perhaps a little chewier, I would use half a teaspoon of baking
Okay.
powder.
Okay.
Okay?
What do they look like on the bottom, Kim?
Now let's take a look. Ooh, they are quite cooked at the
Perfect.
bottom.
Why don't you
Okay?
try one?
All right.
Let us know.
Well, I want you to try
Okay,
one
you
too.
try.
Well,
Okay.
you try one, Annie. You try one too.
Mmm. Ooh, they're chewy and kind of caramelly.
Are they good, Annie?
Mmm.
Oh my
You know,
God.
they're great.
Mm.
And you know, I like
Oh my
these
God.
are so good with tea. I make these and I give them as gifts, and people go crazy about them. I used to make these at home, but then my husband asked me not to because he ate too many of them.
Ah!
Okay.
So he asked me to stop eating. These are really good,
Oh my gosh.
if I say so myself.
Oh.
So bon
Thank
appetit.
you.
All right,
Okay,
well,
wait.
thank you.
We gotta
Yeah.
do a little dance.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.